What's it all for? Why are we doing it? Is any of it gonna last? I got this idea. Howdy, welcome to Adventure in Art. My name is Ben Staley, your resident talking head. I guess we're doing this. I thought about this one for a long time, you guys, and it's gonna be kind of a rant, and I didn't really prepare. I prepared a lot, but I don't know what's coming out, so just hang on, it might be a ride. I was sitting here this morning, I went for a walk actually, and then I was sitting here for a while thinking about doing this video and thinking about what I wanted to talk about. I really am thinking about impermanence. Everything changes. We change, the environment changes, our lives change, our relationships change. Our relationship to our art changes. Your relationship to photography will change in your life. I hope it does. If it doesn't, that'd be pretty boring. Check this out. I got a bunch of boxes like this. Check this out. That's my mother pregnant with me. Wow. That's me and my dad. I'm on his back. He's carrying me. What a scruffy looking character. Take another look. My dad was killed when I was 6. So yeah, that relationship has actually evolved. It's a weird thing, but you know, for the bulk of my life, I've got a few memories of the guy, but mostly they're just old pictures and stories and hearsay, and he was kind of a larger than life character. Check this out. There's another picture of him. On a dog sled. This is probably before I was born, or I'm really little around this time. There's another picture, both of us. Let me see if I can find a shot of my mom here. Oh boy. There's a picture of both my parents. Me in the middle, no doubt. And a dog. That big old Malamute was named Ombre. He was huge. But maybe it's just because I was so little. He seems so huge. I just been thinking about, I got several shoe boxes of photos like this, and there's some of my, put this away first. There's some of my most prized possessions. Recently we had all these wildfires in Southern California, and they came pretty close to where we live here in Santa Clarita, enough to where I packed a little bag and I made a little pile of things that I would take if we had to evacuate. The photos, of course, were at the top of the list. There was some hard drives, a couple changes of clothes, that's about it. These photos are some of my most valuable possessions. They're all I've got of my parents. My mother's passed on too back in 2019. Check this out. Me and some buddies rock climbing. That's like the first year I moved to California. All the friends I made were climbers because I was a pretty avid climber. Me and some other buddies on top of Mount Whitney. I actually led the whole front face of Whitney all by myself. It was like 13 pitches. It was a long day. They followed up. That was one of my burliest days of climbing. It's not technically super hard, but we did that all in a day. And it's, you know, I don't know, 1,500, 2,000 feet straight up. Pretty nuts. I got excited about photography back when I was climbing a lot, and I would go out with my buddies, and you know, I had like just a little point and shoot Olympus stylus zoom 35mm camera. This is way before digital cameras. Well, not way before, they were around, I think, but they weren't like now. Most people were still shooting film. But man, we were mostly about the climbing, but we would take all these snapshots and then go get them developed right away, get the rolls of film developed right away, and then get some beers and sit down and look at all the photos we took and trade them back and forth. And yeah, now we just like have these phones and digital cameras, and like, what are we doing with our photos? That relationship has changed, and I don't think for the better. This is a Lumix S9. Check it out. Yeah, these cameras have been out, I don't know, almost a year, 9, 10, 11 months. I don't know. I just got it like a month ago. I've barely used it. It's got a little small rig grip on it, and it's got this lens on it. This is a Voigtländer, put that back on, 35mm color scope bar, f2.5. So not super fast, but not super slow either. I love how small it is. Check this out. If you take the hood off, it's so teeny. Got a little Metabones adapter on there to adapt the M mount to the L mount. I love that lens. I use it a lot on my Leica M6, but I just thought, that's a good lens for the old S9. The S9's a little different, doesn't have an EVF, so it's just got this flip out screen. You know, in my advancing old age, my eyes have begun to deteriorate, and I've always been like a viewfinder person. Like I want to be here. I want to be looking through the lens at what I'm looking at. I'm not really one of these guys, or with the phone, one of these guys. I want to be here. So this camera's a little different for me. I don't know. I haven't decided if I like it. No, I have decided I like it. I'm about to tell you why. I got this idea. I thought, you know, this would be a cool walk-around camera, right? When I do my like little photo walks in the morning, or just kind of it's so small I can almost put it in a pocket. With this little lens, it's a small package. It's manual focus, so okay, big deal. What if I just like stop down to f8, got a super wide depth of field? Yeah, just kind of zone focus, much like you would with an M mount, just kind of out there, maybe, you know, 10 to 20 meters or something. A whole bunch of that's going to be in focus. You're going to miss some things, but other things you won't. Maybe put it in aperture priority, f8. Yeah, I thought, that'd be pretty cool. So I started walking around like that in the morning. I put the camera in Leica monochrome setting, put a little grain on it, because you can actually do that, in-camera grain for the JPEGs. Of course, I still have the RAW. And then I just cropped it 65 by 24. Walked around like that for a few days, a few weeks ago, in the morning, and just, you know, snap, snap, snap. I really liked the JPEGs that I got. And of course, I put the RAWs on a hard drive. I haven't even looked at those yet, But the JPEGs right out of camera, pretty awesome. I decided to print them out. I just got online and I ordered up some prints from Kinko's. I just put 3 shots per 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, had them printed on heavy cardstock, like 100 weight paper, and just printed out cheaply. They're 40 cents a sheet, so that's 3 pictures for 40 cents. You want to see these? I got a whole stack of them here, like, I don't know, 40 or 50. I'm not even sure how many. There's a self-portrait. There's a bird. I kind of got obsessed with this idea of just walking around, almost like auto shooting, using like in-camera JPEGs. Some of these frames are better than others. I've been obsessed with the birds. I wasn't really sure what the quality of the printing would be like. This isn't like, you know, high-end photo printing. This is just like the cheapest prints you can get from a Kinko's FedEx store. I mean, literally each one of these little images to print out cost, well, let's see, 3 times 3 goes into 40. Yeah, they're like, I don't know, 13 cents a piece or something. Pretty cool. Slow shutter down, just get kind of weird with it. I like the grain. I like this actually, how the tonality just came out. I think these shots look pretty epic right out of camera. I sat there in the FedEx store for like 10 minutes and cut these all out on their little in-house paper cutter. I just feel like it's such a shame. There's all this photography being created every day, and well, for me certainly, but I think most people, it doesn't go anywhere. It just sits on an iPhone or on a hard drive, and it's never realized like this. These aren't showcase level photos, but I think they're dope. I kind of want to print out like 500 of them and just plaster them all over a wall. I think that'd be amazing. I love how this paper feels. It feels like a legit photo. Look, there's another self-portrait. Hopefully you guys are seeing these. Reflections in a creek. Some bikers going through the bridge where my studio is. You guys know about my studio if you watch this channel. You're probably the diehards watching this video because it's, you know, it's not going to be a clickbaity like, hey, check this out, this new camera, this new piece of gear. It's not one of those videos. So I think the people that show up and watch this are the diehards. Yeah. That one's a little overexposed, but I printed it out. I think it's cool. I like all the negative space and the deep shadows and maybe the blown out sunlight. I just think there's something cool about it. More birds. Obsessed with birds. I just think there's real value to reducing the barriers of your creativity, right? Simple, fairly inexpensive digital camera, but very, very capable, okay? Inexpensive, simple manual lens, but very capable. Put them together, hike around. Cheap prints, 13 cents a piece. I cut them out myself. They're not all even. They're not all even. Like they're rough around the edges and they're not perfect. I just kind of eyeballed it and cut them. I think they look super dope with the border. There's just real value in creating like a little kid, you know? Not thinking, oh, it's got to be perfect. It's got to be a showcase. This represents my entire artistic and creative capacity. Fuck that. Who cares? It doesn't have to. Have fun. Finger paint, mess it up, make mistakes. Yeah, I don't know if this is a great picture. Down by the creek, shooting into the sun. I don't know. Super contrasty. Look at this. I love the reflections That's basically the low sun bouncing off the water underneath the bridge and reflecting onto the roof. I think that's cool. The light in the morning is so amazing. Look at this. Just super bright sunlight reflecting on the sidewalk. Everything else is just crushed black. I think it's cool. There's a dude walking. Morning sun through chain link fence. I really like this one. I'm gonna hold this up. You can see this. You could even turn it that way and it's pretty cool. It's like abstract, almost like a painting. Like, I would like frame this and put it on a wall. I think it's cool. Little bench in front of a Best Buy. Reflections. Cracks in the asphalt. More birds. I'm so obsessed with birds lately. I keep saying this. I've been saying this in my head for really the past, I don't know, almost a decade, about how I'm going to start making zines, because I produce a massive amount of photography and work, and a lot of it doesn't do anything. I've got terabytes of hard drives, you know, and some of it's jobs and stuff, and that's great, but I do a lot of personal work, and a lot of it doesn't go anywhere, and some of it I'm pretty stoked about. I'm really stoked about these images. It's just not going anywhere. And I've been saying, man, I need to just like produce some zines or maybe some prints. Who would buy them? Whatever. That's that imposter syndrome. That's that self-doubt. It doesn't matter. What if I sell 2 of them? That'd be cool. This video isn't about me selling you prints, by the way. I'm just expressing my inner dialogue as an artist. I need to do better. I need to create things that last. I think we all do. All these photos in here. Someday I'm going to do a video where I just show a bunch of childhood photos, because there's like series of, there's some trips and things, and yeah. Actually, last year, when it was the year before, I went and B&H had this thing, the Build Expo. They're having it again this year, and I think I'm going again. But I spoke at the first one up on the big stage, and they didn't care. They just talk about whatever you want to talk about. And all they did was show a slideshow of all these photos from my childhood. This one trip that happened in the summer of 1980. I don't know what everybody thought, but like, I keep thinking I should just do an actual YouTube video about some of that stuff, because man, those pictures they're priceless to me. They're so amazing. They're so amazing. What's the point here, folks? I'm changing. My relationship to what I'm doing is changing. Maybe this is part of just like, getting a little older. I'm in my 50s now, early 50s. Early. 50's the new 30. Don't they say that? I don't feel 50. I don't know if I feel 30 though. My body sure doesn't. I kind of want to slow down. I want to make less, but I want to make it last longer. I want to make it tangible. I want to fill up less hard drives. I've really liked, it used to be always raw, do the edits. I've really liked, this isn't a plug for Lumix. You could do this with a Fuji camera or a lot of other cameras, but I like the real-time LUT in these Lumix cameras, because that's what I'm using. And I like putting a little grain on it, and I like just, having my own look built into the camera, and then I just have the JPEG, and then I don't really need to edit all these photos. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't, and I dig it. Went out last weekend. This isn't going to be in a video, by the way. I might put some photos up here. I don't know. Went out last weekend out to the Salton Sea with Danny. We hiked around, took all these pictures. I was just using a real-time LUT. The JPEGs look epic. I'm never going to edit those. Who cares? I want to print them. I'm going to do more of this. I got some ideas. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching this rambly, ranty, weird video. Kind of off-brand, off of the normal beaten path for adventure and art. But honestly, this is what it's all about, you guys. What's it all for? Why are we doing it? Is any of it gonna last? Is any of it gonna outlast us? Probably not. What are we leaving for the next generation in terms of telling the story of who we are? What are we passing on? I think about this. I've thought about this my whole life. It's not just because I'm getting a little older. Got a box of photos right here. All right, I think I've rambled enough. Thanks for allowing me to take up some of your time. We'll see you again real soon. Get out there and make something, and then do something with whatever you make. I kind of want a dark room. Okay, that's a whole other video. That's a whole other topic. It's deep, folks. I wish I just was a channel where I just printed work and stuff, and that's just what I did. Yeah. All right. I gotta get busy. See ya.